Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is Dr. Stemmler. I'm just a helper. My name is Paul. I've been in your lovely country for 18 years. So I've celebrated 18 Diwalis with you all, still enjoying it, loving this place. And my job has been to make Europe and India get closer to each other, specifically with anything pertaining to innovation and sustainability. And that has been my DNA for 18 years here. And I can see a huge change that has come to India. And this has been infusing sustainability, innovation into different sectors. And food processing is a high priority for the Indian government. And food processing has a lot of potential also to infuse sustainability and innovation. And this is why I'm working together with BGA. And Dr. Stemmler here, he is the innovation head of BGA Dictum and the BGA Institute, looking at exactly such innovations and technologies that can benefit the food processing industry. And what we wanted to do today was to give you an example of such innovation. So there's innovation possibilities in the whole value chain of the poultry industry, whether it's at the feedstock level, whether it's the hatchery level, whether it's the broiler level, whether it's the slaughter level, packaging, transport, retail, everything. And we just want to give you one specific example today. And one large driver we know from Europe for innovation and specific sustainability is obviously regulation. And I know regulation is also on the top of your minds as well. So I wanted to start off with this session with Dr. Stemmler by asking him a few questions and then let him speak. Now, we have a bit of a challenge here because Dr. Stemmler doesn't feel so comfortable in English. He will try in English, but if he speaks German, I will translate it for you, if that's okay with you all. And we will be really, really quick about it. So I just wanted to learn from you, Dr. Stemmler, how regulation, your experience in Europe, how that has driven your work in innovation and sustainability.
First of all, sorry?
No, you're good.
First of all, I would like to apologize for speaking German, but it makes it much more easier for me. So, sorry.
This sounds very English to me, though.
Yes. No, but anyway. Yes.
Regulation.
Regulation, yes. Die Regulationen, die zunehmend in Europa, in Deutschland, aber auch in anderen Teilen der Welt stattfinden, fordern natürlich, dass man Produkte verändert. Hier geht es hauptsächlich auch um Nachhaltigkeit. Und, thank you. Hallo?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Better? Okay. Und das ist ein Innovationstreiber. Ja. Und das beobachten wir halt auf der ganzen Welt. Und das wird überall so stattfinden.
Dr. Stemmler said that, yes, regulation is a massive driver for innovation and also for sustainability, and it's becoming ever more so. So he spends a lot of his time looking at regulations, what is happening, what are we allowed to do, what are we not allowed to do, and anything that changes will have to change his product or his solution that he's providing to a variety of industries. But it's not only Germany, it's not only Europe, it's actually across the world. And I also know, I can confirm that, Dr. Stemmler, from the work that I do between Europe and India, that there's a lot of discussions between Europe and India at government level and at regulatory level to see how can we learn from each other and how can we inspire each other. And that's also why the two of us are standing here. We also have seen, Dr. Stemmler is here for the second time in India, so we've also seen how the poultry industry across all the value chain levels is changing, becoming more tech-oriented, using a lot of new technologies like cameras, sensors, a lot of things going on, which means that you as an industry, you have an affinity for innovation, for infusing some new thinking. And that's also what is encouraging us to engage with you all, to be here and spend a whole day with you also tomorrow to talk about these things. So I think let's go to the example that we wanted to talk about. We picked our brains and said, what example do we want to bring to you? And we wanted to talk about the actual meat processing section of the value chain, and more specifically about the disinfecting of the meat, because that was a huge issue in Europe in terms of food safety, human health safety, and so forth. So there was a big focus on that. And that's where you spend a lot of time looking at the disinfection process. So if you can just tell us a bit about that.
Früher war es so, dass Lebensmittelsicherheit sich ausschließlich auf das Produkt bezogen hat. Das heißt, das Produkt musste frei von Bakterien sein und keine gesundheitlichen Schäden mit sich bringen nach dem Verzehr. Heute hat man andere Anforderungen an solch ein Produkt, die weit darüber hinausgehen. Heute möchte man auch, dass der Arbeiter, der dieses Produkt aufträgt, keine Nachteile dadurch erfährt. Und auch der Endverbraucher soll, abgesehen davon, dass er ein sauberes Produkt ist, keine Nachteile haben. Das ist bei den heute gängigen Desinfektionsmitteln leider nicht der Fall, wie zum Beispiel bei Chlor. Ein weiterer Punkt ist die Umweltverträglichkeit der Abwässer. Auch da soll ein Produkt biologisch abbaubar sein, dass da auch keine schädlichen Überreste bleiben. Auch das ist heutzutage nicht gegeben. Und da ist der Fokus heute drauf. Also nicht nur ein gut funktionierendes, sicheres Produkt, sondern eben auch ein Produkt, was all die anderen Aspekte beinhaltet.
Right. Dr. Stemmler is saying it's becoming increasingly complex because the focus area is not one specific element. So yes, disinfecting the product, the meat, has to benefit not only the humans and the consumers who are consuming it. It also has to take into account environmental factors like the wastewater treatment and a lot of other things. You also spoke about health of the workers in the factory.
Absolutely.
Now, chlorine is not used, for instance, in Europe at all anymore. In US, it's still used. We understand here in India, it's also used. And maybe you can tell us a bit more about the specific, chlorine, because you're saying the innovation that you've had is about biological disinfection, which addresses keep a clean product, give something good to the consumers, be good to the environment, and that's what you're doing with a biological disinfectant compared to a chemical
disinfection, yes.
You have to keep it close.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay. Paul,
Okay,
should I brief them in Hindi about the message once for 2
Okay,
minutes?
yeah.
Okay, I think it's easy. आप सभी को मेरा नमस्कार, मैं BGA टीम से ही हूँ, पॉल की कलीग. तो ये क्या मैसेज यहाँ पे रेफर करना चाहते हैं? ज़्यादातर डिसइंफेक्टेंट में हम क्या यूज़ करते हैं? क्लोरीन एज एन केमिकल, राइट? केमिकल को हटाने के लिए आज तक हमारी इंडस्ट्री में अभी तक कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं आया, इसलिए किसी ने उस वैल्यू चेन पे सोचा ही नहीं है. सो क्लोरीन के लिए नाउ दे हैव इन्वेंटेड अ प्रोडक्ट जो कि बायोडिग्रेडेबल है. इट्स अ बायोलॉजिकल प्रोडक्ट जिसको आप खा सकते हैं. क्लोरीन को आप खा नहीं सकते, तो इसका फ़ायदा कहाँ होगा? पहले तो जब आप ये स्लॉटर इंडस्ट्री में जहाँ क्लोरीन यूज़ होता है वहाँ पे बहुत सारा वाटर यूज़ करते हैं, राइट? जब वाटर यूज़ करते हैं तो सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंगल आपने पहले ही ज़ीरो कर दिया है. उसके बाद क्या होता है कि जो शेल्फ लाइफ है, जितना आपने केमिकल एक बार में डाला उसने वहाँ पे जो उसके कीटाणु होंगे ख़त्म किए, पर उसके बाद वो फिर से आ जाते हैं. एक लाइफ उसकी 4 डेज़ 5 डेज़ इतनी रहेगी, उसके ऊपर नहीं जाएगी, ठीक है? और आपकी वर्कर्स की सेफ्टी, तो आपने 3-4 एंगल है जिनको आपने कवर ही नहीं करा, right?
We've not reached that part yet.
Yeah,
Let's
so
have some
I'm
more
just
questions.
going after this message you can convey, because I think people can relate with your message afterwards.
We only have one more question, and then it'll be
Okay,
done. Yeah?
so I think Paul wants to convey next message, then I'll take message. ठीक है, Paul,
Okay,
please. Yeah.
because I understand all the benefits, the environmental benefits, the sustainability benefits, the safety benefits, also the benefits that it has to the looks of the meat, the sensory taste of the meat, and so forth. But tell me, do you need any special equipment to use this?
Nein, das braucht man selbstverständlich nicht. Jeder Betrieb, der heute Geflügelfleisch produziert, kann solch ein Produkt, unser Produkt einsetzen, ohne irgendeine Technik, in eine Technik investieren zu müssen.
Okay.
Das ist selbstverständlich. Dazu möchte ich jetzt noch einmal erwähnen, dass es hier nicht nur um Nachhaltigkeit geht, sondern auch um Wirtschaftlichkeit. Und durch ein modernes Produkt, so wie unseres, kann eine Haltbarkeit verdoppelt werden, was natürlich ganz andere logistische Möglichkeiten hergibt und auch die Möglichkeit gibt, ganz andere Regionen noch zu beliefern. Also es ist nicht nur ein Gewinn der Nachhaltigkeit und der Umwelt, sondern auch ein wirtschaftlicher Vorteil. Das ist ganz wichtig bei solch einer Änderung.
Understand, yes. So Dr. Stelmler says no, there's no requirement for any investment in any further equipment. You can use whatever equipment you have in your factory. You don't have to have any capital expenditure for this. So that's obviously a benefit. But what he also says is that, in terms of costing, so over the whole process, this is beneficial. It's an economically viable proposition because at the end of the day, what it also does is it extends shelf life, which means you're technically also opening new markets. So that is, he says, how innovation, focusing on sustainability, can be a driver of growth in the poultry industry. So I think that was a wrap in what we wanted to say and what we wanted in a message. There's a lot of technicality behind this, and tomorrow we actually have a room for 2 hours, so if you want to know the technical elements behind this, you're welcome to come and visit Dr. Stemler and his team. We'll have a small table out here, and we will know by tomorrow where this room is and at what time it is. So please do come and have a chat with us and listen more to it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dr. Stemler.
Thank you very much.
I'll do the wrap. So ये कहना क्या चाहते हैं कि बायोजी जो इनका प्रोडक्ट है, इट्स अ सस्टेनेबल, बायोडिग्रेडेबल एंड बायोलॉजिकल प्रोडक्ट जो कि इसकी आपके चिकन की शेल्फ लाइफ बढ़ाएगा, वाटर के यूसेज को कम करेगा, बिकॉज आपको जहाँ पर क्लोरीन का यूज़ करना है, वाटर का यूज़ करना है, यू विल जस्ट स्प्रे ऑन टॉप ऑफ द चिकन राइट आफ्टर द स्लॉटर, और उसके बाद शेल्फ लाइफ बढ़ेगी तो ऑफ कोर्स आपके लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ बढ़ेंगी, यू आर गोइंग टू गेट द न्यू बिजनेस मार्केट अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, और साथ में आप सस्टेनेबिलिटी एंगल्स को भी कवर कर पाएंगे. सो दीज आर द पॉइंटर्स. अगर आपको उनसे मिलना है सो एंटायर डे दे विल बी हियर टुमारो, तो आप उनसे आके मिल सकते हैं, प्रोडक्ट के बारे में जान सकते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच. धन्यवाद.
Thank you all for your team. See you at dinner tonight.